studios in New York City. This is Charlie Rose.
Sophia Loren is here. She is one of the world's most beloved and enduring film stars. Born in Rome, she grew up poor and fatherless in war-torn Italy. At 15, she was discovered at a beauty contest by producer Carlo Ponti. In 1961, she earned an Academy Award for her performance in Two Women. She remains the only foreign language performer to win an Oscar for Best Actress. For over 4 decades, she has delighted audiences in such films as Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, A Special Day, and Ready to Wear. She shares her thoughts on life and love and cooking in a new book, Sophia Loren, Recipes and Memories, and I am very pleased to have her for the first time at this table. Welcome.
You make me feel so important. My God, what an introduction.
You are important. Come on.
Oh, it's grand. It's beautiful.
I'm
what
pleased.
A voice. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I am very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
For lots of reasons. I think the thing I admire most about you is, beyond beauty and all of those things, is what seems to be will and determination and a sense of responsibility for one's life. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. You are here today because you passionately wanted to be and make a life for yourself.
Yes, I think so. I'm a very, very determined person, and I always like to go to the bottom of things. And I'm very stubborn.
Yes.
And when I want to get something, and it's not because I want to get it because I'm a capricious, because sooner or later I always get it, because I really concentrate on what I want.
Focus.
Yes, I focus. Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit about cooking and come back to this rather remarkable life. What's the origins of this? Is this some idea that you, because you love cooking and love recipes and wanted to put together not only the recipes but all the photographs and everything else that's part of this, or what?
Well, recipes and memories, it's because I think that when you think about food, sometimes it doesn't happen to you too that a smell, a scent, or maybe a recipe that you smell reminds you of an evening with somebody, or of your childhood with your grandmother. And that's why I thought it was very nice to combine the two things together, because it's very right to have recipes and memories.
Yeah. Memories are often associated with some connection somewhere,
yes,
in which food somehow was part of food.
Not only
wine.
Food, but smell, sense, you know, yes.
Do you cook?
Yes, I cook. For instance, when I smell pasta e fagioli, which means beans and pasta, sometimes I'm really close to tears, because it reminds me of my grandmother in Pozzuoli.
This book is dedicated to her, if I remember, is it?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
She had what influence on you?
Well, my mother had a great influence on me. But my grandmother, she was always there for me. And she was really the anchor of my life. She was always, I remember my grandmother always in the kitchen, always doing something, always lighting the fire, always trying to do something from nothing. And she was in the kitchen like in a trench with her pots and pans, and always trying to combine things with a little thing with herbs and with some of her culinary magics. She would turn nothing into, she was a magician, into something to eat, you know. Because I think that when you are very poor, I think you have to develop fantasy. You have to be very creative to be able to make your family survive. But of course I'm talking about during the war, when there was really nothing to eat. But really, I mean, nothing to eat. So it was not easy for her to give food every night to a family of about 9 people.
So she had to be especially creative and had to stretch what
Well,
she had.
She had to do something.
A wide distance.
She had to do something.
Yeah.
And with two children, like myself and my sister, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is clearly responsible for setting you in a certain direction, your mother.
My mother, yes, absolutely, yes.
She really...
Well, always for the same reason, because when...
Survival?
When I was, after the war, when the war was over, when I was about 15 years old, she said, let's go to Rome and let's go in the movie business. And I said, Mom, are you crazy? I was a very shy person. I still am, but then it was impossible coming from a little town like Pozzuoli, going to a big city like Rome.
This, for the record, Pozzuoli is right outside of Naples, yes?
Just outside of Naples, yes.
So you're going to go to Rome to get in the movie business?
To get in the movies, I mean.
You'd never had drama lessons, you never acted,
Never,
you had
never,
only...
Never, nothing. So we went to Cinecittà, which is a big studio in Italy, and they were looking for some little figurant, you say, the crowd, the crowd.
Yeah.
So my mother and I were chosen, and we earned about 30,000 lira, and we thought we were rich. So with this 30,000 lira, we were able to really live at least for a week. So little by little, we started to know people, other people, and we started to have contacts. And one day, in a beauty contest, one member of the jury, his name was Carlo Ponti, spotted me, and he said, "Why don't you participate to the concert, to the contest?"
You were how old then?
I was 16.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know, I was not asked. They said, "Why don't you?" And I said, if a member of the jury tells me to participate to a contest, I think I am going to win. It's not true. I arrived second. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because I had a chance to meet my husband. And he started to talk to me about difficulties and the problems of a movie business, and the young girl with a mother was very difficult. And I said, it doesn't matter, just give me a little thing to do. I just want to make some money because I have nothing. So little by little, he started to see that maybe there was something there. And he started really to help me seriously. And when I was 17 years old, in the meantime, I had done some little work here and there. I started with say hello in a movie,
right.
Then a longer phrase, hello, how are you?
Yes.
Dinner is served, ma'am, you know. And so I started to have a kind of experience. I mean, I thought in movies, and I thought I was starting to be an actress. I didn't know how hard it is to be an actress. So he helped me, and I met with him Vittorio De Sica. And he was ready to do a film that was called The Gold on Naples.
Yeah.
And he met me, and he said, I don't want to do any test for you, because I don't like tests, because when you make a test, it's always wrong. I mean, actors are so nervous that it comes out wrong. So just come to my office, I'll talk to you. I said, okay. I went to his office, and we started to speak Neapolitan, of course. The role was Neapolitan. The name of the girl was Sophia. And after half an hour, he said, okay, I think you're leaving tomorrow with us because you start the film. Can you imagine?
What did you think?
I said, it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Yeah. It's a great director.
Great director. It's a miracle. And that was my fortune, because really the Gold of Naples was a big, big, big step in my career. Very big.
Now, what influence did Carlo Ponti have on you at this time? Was he guiding you? Was he
in choosing the right people to be able to meet me and give me the right stories for me to play.
Now, were you falling in love with him at that time, or is it still something else?
Well, little by little. It was not love at first sight. It was something that grew with the time.
You were friends
first. Which is
first.
always better, you know.
Yeah.
It's always better. Yeah, because otherwise you burn out every candle and it's finished.
But you two were. But there was What was the nature of the connection between you and Carlo Ponti? He was a lawyer, producer?
A producer.
Yeah.
Not a lawyer, because I didn't need a lawyer.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything then.
You weren't going to buy anything.
I didn't need a lawyer, no. Yeah. I needed a producer, and he was a very good producer. And
now, was he mad for you at that time? I mean, at first sight?
He never showed, really.
He didn't show?
He really never showed.
You must
in the
have
beginning.
known. Yeah.
In the beginning. And then, little by little, he got very attached to me because...
for obvious reasons.
I have no idea why, but not because I was beautiful, but because I was somebody maybe that needed help, and he was very tender with me. It was a nice relationship, very nice. And then he was married too, you know,
Yeah.
he had 2 children, so that was a kind of, for me...
hard. Yes?
Hard on me, yes.
Yeah.
Very hard.
But he was worth it.
Yes, it was worth it, but it was hard on me because my mother never married my father, so I said, my God, to let a family split, I think it's absolutely impossible.
Your sister was kinder to your father than you were. She was more forgiving of him.
Yes, I never knew why. I never knew why because, you know that with the first money that I got from a film, I had to pay my sister's name because my sister was not, her name was not Scicolone like me. Right. Because my father said that she was not his daughter and she was just the image of my father. So the first money that I got, I told my father, I mean, what can I do to be able to give Maria your name? And he said, you just give me a check of 1 million lira. And I did. So
you
she
gave him 1 million lira so he could...
Yes, and she had her name.
But you never...
I never forgave him for this. No. But my sister did because she didn't go through that.
Yeah. Did you ever reconcile with him at all?
When he... Well, I was speaking to him, but always in a very distant way, always... with a kind, not really resentment, but thinking about his phrase, you know, give me 1 million lira. When he was looking at me, I say, my God, how can I look at him? How can he look at me?
You've got to buy the rightful name for my sister.
Yeah.
Was there a time in which, when you were growing up, much is made about beauty and you, and much has been made about the fact that somehow all these, you've heard this a million times, all these qualities that are not necessarily perfect somehow come together in you and make this extraordinary face? You've heard that many times, right? Mm. Was there a time for you when you just realized that you had this wonderful allure for men, that they were attracted to you, that you had some sort of quality that men loved?
But maybe when you... I don't know, because I never think of myself in this way. Like I can give a great impression as a woman on men. I don't know why. It's true. I don't know why. I don't like to have a power of sex appeal on men. I'm not that kind of a person. I'm not at all. I always did things in my life. I was always very disciplined and very nice. I always wanted a quiet life. I never went ape crazy, never.
But you said once you loved the idea, whether it was just for fun, of seducing.
And to be seduced.
And to be seduced.
It was a nice phrase. I had to say it, but it's not true.
You mean that you didn't really mean that? You just said it because...
Yeah.
Maybe
for fun.
For fun.
Maybe for fun, of course, for fun.
Yeah.
You can do
the joy of fun.
anything for fun, just to prove to yourself that you can. But it's not serious anyway. No.
What's been, you think, the magic of the relationship with Carlo Ponti that has survived to this day?
I think serenity. I think harmony in our relationship. And trust.
Trust?
Trust in each other, yes. It's very important. It's not just the word, trust.
What does it mean?
Trust one another.
Trust one another, not to be
Trust.
unfaithful.
I trust you and
trust
you trust me.
Take your word.
Yeah.
Believe in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know that we see what we have together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's been, second to your mother, the most influential person
Yes.
in your
yes,
life.
Yes.
You desperately wanted children.
Oh yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you did things that, I mean, it was like
Before I had my children, I lost 3 children.
Three miscarriages.
I had 3 miscarriages, yes.
now you have 2 sons.
I have 2 most beautiful men in the world.
Eduardo and Carlo.
And Carlo, yes. Carlo is the eldest, Eduardo is the second.
Yeah. Carlo, who is the pianist who's training to be the conductor?
Carlo.
Carlo.
He had a great, great triumph in the concert he did about 3 days ago in Los Angeles.
Was the mother there?
The mother was there.
Oh.
And he had a standing ovation, and I was the happiest mother in the world.
Yeah. How hard was it? Didn't you have to be almost quarantined in order to make sure that this pregnancy went well?
Well, I had to be in bed when I knew I was pregnant. I had to go to bed and stay in bed for about 8 months.
8 months?
Yes, and for the whole pregnancy, for both of them.
For both of them?
Yes.
That's what
because
I
I had a lack of estrogen hormones, which didn't allow me to be able to have a normal pregnancy. So I was always under the cure of my doctor.
Eduardo does what?
Eduardo is in writing. He writes and he wants to direct. He did a wonderful show in Warsaw with the music of Preisner, which is the author of the music of this beautiful director that died, Kieslowski. Do you know Kieslowski?
Yes.
Yeah. And this Preisner, the musician, he did a requiem for a friend, which was Kieslowski. And my son, he did the direction of everything, and they had a great, 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 great success, really great success. So both of them, I think, thank God, they are on the right track.
That's the... back to your career for a second. 2 Women meant what to you? The film that won you the Oscar. It was
everything. 2 Women was everything for me because before deciding to do 2 Women, I was too young for the book that Moravia wrote.
Alberto Moravia.
Alberto Moravia wrote. And this was a woman of 50-something years old. And the girl was about 18 years old. So De Sica said, well, we take Anna Magnani for the role, and you for the role of the mother, yeah. And you for the daughter. I said, that's fine. Then De Sica went to Anna Magnani, and she said, well, it's great. Who is going to be my daughter? I said, Sophia. Sophia is going to be my daughter. Yeah. Never. Never, because, I mean, on the screen, me and her, we are going to fight with each other. I think it's absolutely impossible. So she said no. And when De Sica was at the door, leaving the house of Anna Magnani said to him, why don't you try to make Sophia do the role of the mother? And De Sica was struck, and he said, you know, it's a very good idea. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thank you. Bye-bye. He sent me a telegram. I was in Paris. He sent me a telegram, and he said in the telegram, you are going to be the mother. When I received this telegram, I said, oh, my God, I'm going to be the mother. How am I going to do that? I was 25 years old. How am I going to do that? And then I said to myself, if De Sica says I can do it, I give it a shot. I'm going to do it. And I did. And it was the fortune of my life. It changed my career completely. Completely, my career.
In what way?
Well, because before, yes, I was considered an actress, but with that role, with that dramatic role, and then the awards that came with it, and not only the Oscar, in that year I had 21 awards, only for 2 women. Really, I mean, they just everybody said I was an actress was born, and it was beautiful.
Roll tape. Here's a scene from Two Women.
Ci aveva ragione Michele. Scappi. E poi guarda che mazzate. Manco più di Michele hai domandato.
It's stunning.
You know, all these scenes that we did in that room, De Sica did in each scene one take. One take. And he said, don't you cover yourself? Because if the negative... No, you cannot do it better. It's one take and it's finished. If it's not good, I mean, we just come back. One take.
And that gives you confidence, too,
Of
that he
course.
believes in you.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great.
The next movie you made with him was Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow.
Yeah.
How did that follow that immediately, or was it a number of years after?
No, it followed about 2-3 years,
3
maybe
years,
later, yeah. Uh-huh.
What was the relationship with Vittorio De Sica? When was it
Was
confidence?
Was magic.
Magic.
Was magic. He didn't have to talk anymore with me. He just would look at me and I would understand what he wanted. It was great. It was really a perfect marriage.
He made you a better actress.
Absolutely. Because he put out things that I didn't know I had. And he gave me characters that were just very much appropriate to my temperament. And he was really a great, great teacher for me, and he really did a wonderful job with me, Vittorio. Wonderful.
You're very lucky to have that at that age.
Oh, you're telling me, yeah. Yeah, I was very lucky, yes.
And you probably never had a relationship that good with a director.
Never, with other directors, never.
Did
No,
he?
I mean, a nice relationship, but that closeness, that understanding, that harmony that we had together, I never had it with anybody else.
He
Never.
introduced you to Marcello.
No. Marcello and myself, we made a picture together before starting to work with De Sica, with another director. And we did together a comedy called Too Bad, She's Bad.
Too Bad, She's Bad. Okay.
She's Bad.
Yeah.
And that was a great director, an Italian director that is not known in America, that made us work together. And then after that, we started to make this series of films for, I don't know how many years, 20 years with De Sica.
The three of you.
The three of us,
Yeah.
yes.
And the relationship with Marcello?
Oh, beautiful, absolutely incredible until the end, until when we did together Ready to Wear, when we did the remake of the Striptease,
Yeah.
and instead of getting excited, he would fall asleep. I mean, it was something really incredible.
Take a
Yeah.
look at this clip. Roll tape.
You have it? Oh.
The nice scene, but not the striptease scene.
I know, it was wonderful because we were shooting outside and there was a
Yeah.
crowd in the back.
Yeah.
And when we finished the scene, they started to applaud.
Oh, wow.
It was so nice for Marcello and myself.
I think
So
the most
nice.
amazing, the most wonderful tribute I know about is when he died.
Yeah.
You, rather than going to the funeral, went with his wife
Mm-hmm.
and daughter to a service.
Well, I think he had a kind of funeral in Paris with a woman that he was living with.
Right.
And but the real funeral was done in Rome, grand official funeral.
Right.
With the mayor of the city and everybody, and I went with his wife. Yeah.
Your favorite actor that you ever worked with, Marcello?
Well, Marcello, of course. Yes,
Was-
of course. I mean, he was my brother. He was the boy next door. He was my career. He was everything.
Your career.
Yeah, my career, sure.
Then came, at some point, Cary Grant.
Why do you look at me like that? Say, oh, there we go again.
No, I mean
Cary Grant.
Cary Grant.
Yes,
He also, that was a good relationship.
yes. But I always had a good relationship with
But I'm picking out the best,
with everybody.
right?
No, I know where you want to, what
No, I don't.
what you
But
want to say.
yeah.
But I want to tell you that I always, in every picture, had always a good relationship with every partner, because when I'm working, I don't like to be litigious. I like to work with warmth. I like to be tranquil. I like to think about what I'm doing, and I don't like to see the negative things about him or her. You know, I like to be calm, because I'm not calm. So I want to be calm, and I want to do things in a good way and focus on my character.
Yeah. Now, but where do you think I'm going with this?
Now we can go back to Cary Grant.
Okay, man. But did you think I was going to? I mean, the question that I was asking.
I'm very naive. I don't know where you want to go.
No, nor do I, actually, but I'm as naive as you are. But there was I mean, the stories were that the two of you, that he was, that at least Carlo thought he was particularly attracted to you. Is that true or not true? It has nothing.
Yes, it's true.
It is true.
Yes.
And you?
And I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
And to see Cary Grant attracted to me as he was, I fell a little bit for it.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Fall a little bit means what?
Fall a little bit. Not losing my head, but falling a little bit, yes.
You let yourself go a little bit.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was worth it.
It's okay.
Now that it's passed by now.
It was worth it.
It was worth it, yes.
To let yourself go a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
Carlo got worried, and he decided that at long last...
we were not married.
You what?
We were not married.
That's my point.
No.
He all of a sudden said, maybe we should get married.
It was his decision.
But the fact that he knew that Cary, that you might go a little bit, caused him to say, maybe I better...
Maybe that's what he thought.
Do you think he did?
Yes, he did.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
And so you were married?
I don't know, because I've been married with Carlo once in Mexico before Cary Grant.
Yeah, right.
And another time somewhere else, and then the third time in Paris. The third time in Paris in 1967 in Paris. But anyway, he decided to really be serious with me and to really decide his life, because he had to decide his life, because I was free, like a bird, you know.
You were like a bird, and you didn't actually want for all your life to live with a man who was married to another woman.
I wanted a family of my own. I didn't want to destroy his family, but I wanted a family of my own, so it was up to him to choose, you know, not me.
Did Grant propose to you?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he did.
Listen to the people you have worked with. This is really amazing.
It's a long list.
It is. Just think about this. Sidney Lumet.
Yes.
Great New York director.
Yes.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yes.
Countess from Hong Kong.
Yes.
What was he like?
Charlie Chaplin was a delicious person, but very stubborn, and he really always knew what he wanted to get from you, from the actors. He would play the piano for you when he was at home. He would sing for you. He was not at all the man that people were talking about.
The clown, or the man who was involved with a young woman.
The man who was violent and aggressive.
Right.
Not at all, not at all.
Charming, flirtatious.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, really a beautiful husband for Una and his family. He was absolutely an incredible person.
I mean flirtatious in the best way, in a sense of someone who cares about people, so they are charming to them.
He cared about me a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he really liked me very much, and he wanted to make this film with me because he had seen many of De Sica's films, and he had this story in the drawer, and he took it out, and he said, I want to do this story with Sophia. And he did. Yeah.
George Cukor.
George Cukor was amazing. Amazing, but hard to work with.
Hard?
Very hard to work with, because at the time I didn't speak well English. Well, not even now, but I mean...
We're doing just fine.
I try to. But at the time I really spoke quite a few words in English, but not not a lot to be able to be calm on the set when I was saying a line. So every time I had to say something, he wanted me to say it like he would say it. And for me, it was like hell, because he would say it with an American accent, with an American intonation, and I didn't understand what he wanted from me, and it was really torture for me. But then at the end, when I saw the film, I thought that he was right. He did a good job with me, very good. It's a nice little picture. I mean, Heller in Pink Tights, it's a very nice picture, yeah.
Gregory Peck.
Gregory Peck, yeah, when we did together
Arabesque,
yeah. Gregory Peck is a wonderful partner, very generous, very nice to work with, and a lot of fun, very good. We did a very nice picture. Huh?
An elegant man.
Very elegant man, yeah. And handsome, wow. Was so handsome, so handsome.
Clark Gable.
Clark Gable, we did this. The Bay, it's not bad. Did you see The Bay of Naples?
I don't think so.
It's not a bad film.
No, I never saw it.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
When you see, you can see it even now. It's so funny. There are scenes that are so funny, and only now I realize that we worked very well together, very well. But in Italy, I think that he found himself a little bit out of place. A little bit out of place.
More too American.
He felt out of place in Naples with the people, screaming, "Where dove vai, che fai?" And he was like, "What are they doing? What are they saying?"
Who do you think of all the Americans you know is most comfortable in Italy? Who seems almost to be Italian? Who has that certain sense of life and passion and?
Well, they are not actors that I worked with,
yeah.
But. For instance, I've seen De Niro, I've seen Al Pacino doing the film with Coppola, The Godfather. Yeah. And I must say that I saw them in the film, and they really felt like it was their own country. Yeah, very much it is.
Sinatra?
Sinatra not good in Italy, no.
Yeah. What film did you do with him?
The Pride and the Passion.
Pride and the Passion.
Yeah.
Holden?
William Holden, I did The Key with him in England.
Anthony Quinn?
Anthony Quinn, I did many films. I did Heller in Pink Tights with him.
Right.
And then I did my first costume film in Italy called Attila. You know the man who was eating the
yeah. Attila the Hun, right?
Yeah.
Attila
That's
the Hun,
right.
Charlton Heston?
Oh, I did a beautiful film with him, El Cid.
El Cid.
Oh, beautiful film. We looked so well together on the screen. We really, it was a nice couple. Beautiful.
He's a tall man.
Oh yes, and very handsome. No, too, very handsome too. Why do you laugh and say handsome? You're handsome too.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Has it been what you wanted it to be, this career in films? You got the Oscar. You are known around the world. I mean, people think about great international stars. It's a very small list. You know, we think of Elizabeth Taylor, they think of you, they think of Catherine Deneuve. You know, great international stars, and not more. That's a short list. Why are you smiling?
I don't know.
Has it been all that you wanted to be, or was there something missing that you wanted badly that you didn't get?
No. I think it has been wonderful, my career. And what I was dreaming before starting my career, I think that I got so much more than I was dreaming about, and maybe so much more than I deserved. I really got a lot from it. And I still want to get a lot from it.
Like what?
Other films, other good roles, to be able to have a step forward in my career, to learn other things. I always look for new things. Yeah.
Do you actively seek to act today?
Yes.
You do?
Absolutely. Yes.
So if someone's watching this program and wondering whether you would be interested in a great film, a great role, you'd be there in a second.
Well, if it's a role that I feel that I like, otherwise I won't be there in a second.
A director you wanted to work with?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
You know, actors you wanted to work with?
Yes, I'm going to do a picture in a few months with Antonioni.
Yes.
Yes.
And who else?
Well, we are looking for the partner, but the story is really very beautiful.
Here is my question.
Yes.
I haven't seen you in that many films. The last thing I saw was Pret-a-Porter. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've done other 2 films after
Two other
that,
films.
which never came to America because they were done in
Italy?
in Europe.
In Europe.
Yes.
It didn't come here.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you'd like to be working more. Not for the money, not for the glamour, because...
I like to work when I think I find the right story that is appropriate to my talent and to my age. Because, you know, time goes by for everybody.
Yeah.
And I like to do a role that is appropriate for my age, from how I am now.
I think I know how old you are. Age has been very good.
Don't say it.
I'm not. I wouldn't.
Everybody knows it.
I know. But,
It's a joke.
you feel comfortable with your age, and you feel comfortable with your looks, and you feel comfortable with your life. I mean, it's all come...
I feel comfortable with I feel comfortable. It's not so happy like this.
It's not so happy.
I feel all right.
Yeah. But do you worry about age?
No,
age?
no.
Not for a second.
No. Anyway, what can you do?
That's right.
Time goes by. You are what you are. You have to look the best you can, if you can.
Yes.
And then go on with life, you know?
Yeah. And you look around and you've got a husband you love and children that are doing well that you love.
Children that are beautiful.
Economically, there's no... You know. On the other hand, my guess is that when you, for a long time, if you knew the poverty you knew, not sure about where the next meal was coming from, grew up during the war, you always wonder, could it happen again? Did you?
Listen, I don't know if you have been poor in your life.
I have.
Yeah. If you have been poor in your life, you never forget it. So you can become the richest person in the world. You always think that maybe tomorrow everything is going to disappear. You are always afraid that whatever you have, you won't have it anymore. I'm always afraid to be poor again.
Even today, because the pain and the fear.
Oh, yes. But my children think differently. But I know what it means to be poor, and you never forget it. And I will never, never forget it.
You have also, recently, people were worried about you because they knew you were in a hospital here. You're okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, because they wanted to give you an award at the Venice Film Festival.
Yes.
And Carlo had to
go with my
go
children.
in for
yes.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
And you were here in New York. And people were worried because you had arrhythmia or something like
yes.
that.
Yes.
Okay, we don't need to worry about you.
No. No.
You're okay.
I was worried then.
You were. Did you think about this could be it?
Well, who knows? I mean, the heart is only one.
You have one heart.
If it just goes off beat, you say, my God, maybe it's going to be forever. Maybe I'm going to die, or maybe I'm going to be better, until you have a checkup that tells you that you're fine and nothing may happen. You know.
That
But
was
there are terrible moments, I tell you.
And what you think,
Yeah, terrible moments.
because you got so much to live for.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
When you think about all of this, I remember back at the time, I understand. The interesting thing about you and what you have done and how remarkable this life has been is the thing I started with, the strength, and how powerful has been your will to have children, to escape from poverty, to do all these things. You have to be born with that, don't you? This sense of fight and determination.
But it comes really from within. It comes from within, from what you want from life, you know. It's a constant fight.
What makes you the happiest?
Well, to see my children grow well and and I'm happy that they're doing really things that they like to do, and they've found their motivation in life, and they're very happy.
You live in Switzerland?
Mm-hmm.
Where's your favorite city? Is it still Naples? Was it ever Naples?
Well, Naples is a city of joy and fireworks, and it's beautiful. But anyway, I always like to live where my children are, because...
You're in Los Angeles? One?
Now they are much more in Geneva than in
Yeah.
Los Angeles. But I like very much to be with them, because I know that they are growing so fast. One is 25, the other one is 29. I think that every mother, when your child starts to be 25 and 29, you think tomorrow is going to go away, of course, and you have to accept that, because they have to have their own family, they have to have their own life,
Yeah.
they have to have their own future. But I also think that the bond between the mother and the child is so strong that it would never be destroyed. And I think that's what really makes me happy.
More than anything?
More than anything,
And you fought
yes.
for that more than anything, too.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Do they have children?
No, they're not married. I
Okay,
wish
so
they
they're not-
had children.
Oh, you're ready to be
I
a...
am ready to be a grandmother right away, even tomorrow.
Tomorrow you'd be ready. The
Yeah.
idea of holding in your hands
Oh, yeah. I
the
think
child
that's
of your
the
child.
most beautiful, beautiful moment of my life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
What do you most regret?
For what I have, why should I regret something?
Nothing.
It would be really a mortal sin for me to say, well, I regret. It would be such a small thing that I would regret, that it's not even, we don't even have to mention it, It's nothing. What can I regret with the life I had? My life is like a fairy tale, really.
It is like a fairy
A
tale.
fairy tale, yeah.
You cannot ever have imagined that it would be
No, never.
as good as it has been.
No, never.
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 Take a look at this. This is a movie. Now we move from 1994 to 1995. This is you. Wait, listen, this is you with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. As Lemmon sits and attempts to seduce. Go ahead. Watch this.
So sweet.
What? Yeah. That was what, 1995? Yeah. 1994, 95.
95,
Yeah,
I
95,
think.
yeah.
95, yeah.
Lemmon is amazing, and Matthau are amazing.
Oh, yeah,
Because they
I know.
keep going.
Oh, yes, I mean, together they are really a great couple.
One of the wonderful things about performance is that you see people like that, continuing to work, continuing to enjoy work. I mean, you think of the richness of, how lucky you are to be able to do something you enjoy doing, and to be able to continue doing it. There's no one
it's
coming along
wonderful.
saying, okay, you got to go away.
You
It's
have to
over.
retire.
It's 65. You got to retire.
Yeah, no.
know.
That's the beauty of movies, I think, yes.
And anything you wanted to do, did you ever want to do stage work? at
No.
all? Never wanted to?
No, scared
Because-
to death.
Scared of it?
Scared to death. I've been asked many times, very, very important projects that I turned down.
Because of fear.
Fear of the public.
And you didn't
Fear.
need it.
Fear. I was scared to death. Or maybe because I never tried, so I don't know what it is really to be on the stage. Maybe I would be great on the stage. Maybe I would not be scared at all. But just for the fact that I would say, yes, I'm going to do it, and then
You'd have to do it.
you have to do it, I said no.
But there was no way you could try it out? There's no way you could say, let's not do it before an audience, but let's go and...
But if you have a certain name and then you engage yourself in doing something, and then if you don't do it,
Yeah.
I need a lawyer.
You need a lawyer
Yes,
quickly.
I do.
as some actresses have found out. What's the greatest challenge for you now?
It is a challenge for me now. Is to go on to do what I'm doing, and my great challenge really is my profession, because I adore my profession, but my first choice is always the result of what my children are going to do in life.
There can't be anyone that you've wanted to meet that you haven't met of any state. I remember Go ahead.
You remember?
Well, no, I was going to say I remember, you know, I mean, you've clearly known the Pope. You've clearly known prime ministers of Italy. You went to the White House, I think, when
Yes.
Prodi was given a state dinner here
Yes,
in
yes,
Washington.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, you've known politicians.
Yes.
Most of the large figures in
The
film.
only person that I really wanted to meet and I never had the chance to meet was Mother Teresa.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Never.
Yeah.
I just, and you know, she was a great friend of a priest that is always, I mean, he's a great friend of mine. And he said to her that I wanted to meet her. And one day she was passing through the airport of Rome, and she left a little medal for me with a friend. I never met her.
So she'd be on your list of heroes.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And how about that doctor who helped you get through those pregnancies? Dr.
De Watteville.
Yes.
Yeah, he died.
But he was on a list of heroes for you, too.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
More books to write? Is this it?
Who knows? Maybe. Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
What's remarkable, too, as I talk to you, is the sense that...
I would like to write a book. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, finish.
I would like to write a book about the things I've said in interviews, going from in many domains, you know, and that's what I would like to do, because I have so many interviews that I've given.
To put all the interviews together.
Yeah, and to put it in order, to give so many answers. To would be nice. I have like
I
this.
have some of those quotes here that we've written down. Things that you've said. You said, for example, on De Sica. De Sica was an actor, and his way of directing other actors was to show them what he wanted. Instead of telling the scene, he was acting it for you. He did that for everybody, from the old lady to the sexy woman to the little kid. It was a sight to see.
Mm-hmm.
You said on marriage, marriage is like a thread. It must go straight or it will ravel. And I think it is always a woman who must keep the thread straight to save the marriage.
Absolutely.
That is because women are wise and care about their
And
children.
not men.
They have to make choices, and they choose for the family, even though sometimes they must sacrifice themselves. On Carlo Ponti, she's always dismissed, if you don't have anybody to protect you when you're in this jungle, you cannot succeed. It is very hard, very tough.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You had a protector.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you meant to him what?
Huh?
What do you think you meant to him, Carlo? Other than a great...
Maybe the love of his life.
I would think so.
Maybe. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Maybe. I think so. Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
On your sons, Carlo Jr. is the dreamer. He studied classical piano. My mother was a professional pianist. I think this is the most poignant thing I've seen or read of all the things I've read about you. You said, since my mother died, I'm not the same anymore. Some things within me have changed. I feel like a boat without an anchor, a boat without a sail. I feel confused about this. This you said in 1993. Mm-hmm. We were terribly close, my mother, my sister, and I. When she died, she left us really with no roots. I'm like, she was everything. She gave us strength. She gave me strength. She gave me a sense of duty. She gave me a sense of family. Now I have to get accustomed to another kind of life without my mother. And it's going to take some time for me to be able to do so. But really, I never thought it was going to be like this. I mean, but you are the continuation of your mother.
I know, but it's another chapter.
Yeah.
That one is closed.
In 93 when she died.
And to close that chapter, it was very hard for me.
Have you been able to do it?
Not yet.
Really?
No, not yet. No.
Because in the beginning, the three of you were alone.
Yes. And now we are two.
Yeah,
My sister
two.
and I.
You're wonderful, and I thank you for sharing this time with us.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you
do.
very much. And you are great.
Thank you. This book, which is attracting some attention, is called Recipes and Memories. We've talked about both this evening. Thank you for joining us. See you tomorrow night.